Chosen one, stop for a moment. Heaven has paused everything around you so that these words could reach you now. This is not coincidence. This is divine intervention. You are being summoned not by an algorithm, not by chance, but by the very heartbeat of God. You feel it, don't you? That pull in your spirit, that whisper inside that says, "This is for me." It's because it is. You are not scrolling by accident. You are seen. You are known. You are chosen from the beginning of time. Heaven marked you for something greater than survival. You were destined for transformation. You were never meant to blend in with the crowd. You were meant to ignite it. You've been running on empty lately, carrying a weight that words can't describe. You've been strong for everyone else, yet breaking in silence. You've smiled when you should have crumbled, and you've stood when everything tried to push you down. But listen carefully, this moment is heaven's way of saying enough hiding, enough doubting, enough delay. The Father says, "I need you to see this right now." As the Spirit spoke through the prophet Isaiah, chapter 40, verse 31. "But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will walk, not faint." This word comes like a divine wind, lifting your weary wings again. The Lord saw how tired you've become, how faith has been stretched thin by disappointment, how prayers felt unanswered, how battles kept repeating. Yet even in the exhaustion, you didn't let go. That persistence was seen. Heaven recorded it. Every tear that fell in secret was noticed by angels assigned to your destiny. There's a reason the enemy has fought you so violently, because your obedience is dangerous to darkness. You carry something holy inside you, something that can't be duplicated, something the enemy fears you'll discover. But now the discovery begins. You are standing at the edge of awakening, and God says, "Lift your head, my child, and see what I've prepared." Heaven is not asking for perfection. It is asking for surrender. This isn't about being worthy, it's about being willing. Right now, grace is stretching its hand toward you. All you have to do is say yes. Let this be the moment you stop questioning whether you were chosen. You are the one. The confirmation you've been asking for is in these very words. You've said, "God, give me a sign," and He whispers back, "You're reading it." So take a breath. Feel that stillness wrapping around you that's peace, the kind that doesn't make sense, the kind that breaks anxiety, the kind that silences storms. God is not late, He is aligning. Everything that felt like delay was preparation. Every closed door was protection. Every detour was redirection. You are exactly where you are meant to be for heaven to speak this now. The world may not have understood you, but heaven always did. The rejection, the isolation, the nights when you thought no one noticed, all of it was divine training. You were being separated, not punished. You were being purified, not abandoned. You were being forged into a vessel strong enough to carry what others could not. Chosen one, heaven has its eyes on you. The Lord says, "Do not despise your hidden season, for in the stillness I am shaping the foundation that will hold your calling." Your life is not falling apart, it is falling into place. What looked like loss is about to reveal itself as divine rearrangement. Listen before the next sunrise. Make a decision. You will no longer walk like someone unsure of their purpose. You will no longer speak like someone unworthy of calling. You are God's weapon of light, sent into a dark world not to blend but to blaze. The time to awaken has come, so right now, lift your hands physically or in your heart and whisper, "I receive my assignment." Heaven hears it. Angels take note. A shift happens in the unseen. You are aligning with destiny, and nothing can stop what God has ordained. This message is not meant to be kept to yourself. Someone else needs the light that's being rekindled inside you. Don't let it end here. Let it echo. Like, share, comment, and subscribe if this word has stirred something in you. You aren't joining a page, you're joining a movement of the chosen. You are not just hearing a message, you are stepping into your mantle. And when you comment, don't just type words, type with purpose. Seal your yes in faith. Write this number, 999. It's not superstition, it's a prophetic act. It means I am stepping into completion. I am saying yes to heaven's call. You are not late. You are not forgotten. You are chosen. You have been carrying more than anyone knows. Behind your steady smile, behind the brave words you tell others, there's been a quiet war waged within your soul. Heaven has seen the nights you couldn't sleep, the mornings you forced yourself to rise, the tears that fell into the pillow when no one was watching. You wonder why life seemed heavier for you than for others, why the storms lasted longer, why the silence was deeper. But listen carefully, those battles were not signs of punishment. They were proof of calling. God has trusted you with the weight of warfare because He knew your spirit would not collapse under it. The crushing you endured was not meant to destroy you. It was meant to extract the oil of purpose hidden inside. Every burden you've carried has been a seed for the anointing you are about to walk in. You have been prepared in secret for something the world is not yet ready to see. Sometimes you thought, why me? God. Why this pain? And heaven whispered, because I can trust you with it. Others would have cursed God and turned away, but you stayed. You might have stumbled, you might have doubted, but you never completely let go of His hand. That faith, small as it felt, was the difference between collapse and calling. You see, pain has a language, and yours has been heard in the courts of heaven. Angels have carried your sighs as offerings before the throne. Your groans in the dark became worship when you refused to surrender to bitterness. Heaven recorded it all, not one cry lost, not one tear wasted. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms, chapter 23, verse 4. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and staff comfort me. That verse was not written for someone far away. It was written for you, right here, right now. You have walked through valleys that others could not imagine. You have stared into the shadow of despair and kept moving. You have endured betrayals that shattered trust, heartbreaks that left invisible scars, and losses that made you question if hope was real. But still you walk, and because you walk, heaven moves. The valley never defined you, it refined you. The shadow never consumed you, it revealed your light. Every challenge has been forming something unbreakable inside you, a quiet strength, a sacred endurance, a faith that no storm can erode. The enemy tried to use the valley to bury you, but God used it to build you. Chosen one, you have carried not just your own pain, but the pain of others. You've interceded for people who never knew you were praying. You've loved when love wasn't returned. You've forgiven when the world told you to harden your heart. That's not weakness, that's divine resemblance. You look like your Father when you choose compassion over revenge, when you choose mercy over pride. Heaven says to you now, I saw every sacrifice. I heard every prayer that ended with tears. I watched every time you wanted to quit but didn't. And because you remained, a new season is beginning to unfold. What was heavy will become holy. What was broken will become beautiful. The pain that once made no sense will soon reveal its purpose. There are lessons that only pain can teach: humility, empathy, endurance, discernment. You've learned to listen deeper, to feel what others feel, to recognize the silent battles behind smiles. That's why God allowed you to carry so much, because you would not let it turn into bitterness, but into wisdom. Now, the same hands that once trembled from exhaustion are being strengthened to lift others. The same heart that once ached from loneliness is being expanded to hold more love. The same tears that once fell from sorrow will soon fall from gratitude. You are moving from surviving to reigning. Don't despise your scars. They are sacred evidence that you've wrestled with darkness and lived to tell the story. Heaven calls those scars proof of perseverance. The mark of a chosen one is not perfection, but endurance. Soon, you will see why the crushing was necessary. Oil only flows when the olive is pressed. Light only shines when the wick is burned. Diamonds only form under pressure. Everything that tried to break you has only built you. And though the world may never fully understand your journey, God does. He walked it with you. Every step, every silence, every night of confusion. His presence never left. Even when his voice seemed distant, you were not abandoned. You were being hidden until the right time. That time is approaching. The burden is shifting. The same God who carried you through the valley is about to crown you on the mountain. The tears that watered the ground beneath you will soon reveal a harvest that only heaven could grow. There have been nights when the silence around you was so loud that it almost became unbearable. You questioned if heaven still heard your prayers, if your faith had lost its signal somewhere between earth and eternity. You whispered, "God, are you still there?" And the stillness seemed to answer with nothing but emptiness. But, chosen one, you must know this: the silence of God is never his absence. It is often his strategy. When heaven grows quiet, it's because something divine is being written in the unseen. The voice you thought was gone was only whispering in frequencies deeper than your fear. Every time you wept, he counted the tears. Every time you trembled, he strengthened the roots. The quiet wasn't punishment, it was preparation. As Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of Matthew chapter 7 verse 7, ask, and it will be given to you. Seek, and you will find. Knock, and the door will be opened to you. That door you've been waiting on. It hasn't been closed, it's been timed. God never denies what he intends to deliver, but he will delay what he needs to develop. You've been asking for the miracle, but heaven has been shaping the one who will hold it. You've prayed for a promise, and God said, "I'll give it when you're strong enough not to lose it." You see, some of the unanswered prayers were actually mercies in disguise. If you had received certain things when you wanted them, they might have destroyed you. So instead of saying yes, heaven said wait. The waiting was not wasted, it was working. You were learning endurance, you were learning trust, you were learning to hear God in the stillness. There's a whisper that follows you when you least expect it. Sometimes it comes while you drive in silence. Sometimes in the middle of the night when your heart feels too loud to rest. It says softly, "Keep going, you are not done yet." That's not imagination, that's guidance. That's the same voice that called prophets from caves and apostles from storms. It is the sound of heaven reminding you that you are still on assignment. Chosen one, you have been misunderstood, even by those closest to you. People saw your silence as weakness, your isolation as defeat. But the truth is they were witnessing your becoming. You weren't withdrawing, you were transforming. What they called distance was really development. God hid you so he could heal you without interference. Sometimes he quiets every other voice so you'll learn the sound of his alone. And once you do, you'll never again mistake imitation for intimacy. You'll know the difference between emotional noise and divine direction. That's what he's doing, training your spirit to recognize his tone, even in darkness. The voice that once thundered now whispers because you have matured. When you were younger in faith, he spoke loudly because you needed clarity. Now, he speaks softly because he knows you'll recognize him even in a whisper. So stop doubting the silence. It's not a void, it's a classroom. You're learning the rhythm of heaven. You're learning that miracles grow best in quiet soil. Remember this even when God seems silent. His promises are still speaking. The word you once received is still alive, still working, still moving through unseen corridors to manifest in its season. Nothing has expired. The delay is not denial, it's divine design. The enemy wants you to believe that silence means abandonment, but heaven says silence means strategy. God hides his hand when he's building something sacred. You are that sacred thing. Every unanswered question, every closed-mouth prayer, every hour of doubt, none of it is wasted. Right now, heaven leans close and says, don't give up before the echo, because every word you prayed into the atmosphere is still traveling. Sound never dies, it only shifts frequency. Your prayers are still alive, circling the throne, gathering power for their appointed time. And when that time comes, the silence will break not with a whisper, but with a roar. Suddenly, everything that felt stagnant will move at once. Doors will open so quickly that you won't have time to process it. You'll only have time to praise. But before that moment arrives, God asks for one thing: trust. Trust when you cannot trace him. Trust when you cannot hear him. Trust when you feel forgotten, because in truth you never were. Chosen one, right now is your call to reaffirm that trust. Type these words in the comments as your prophetic declaration: I still believe. Say it not for me, not for others, but for yourself. Let those words be a covenant between your spirit and heaven. Every time you type or speak them, you are reminding darkness that silence is not defeat. You are reminding your own soul that faith is still alive. I still believe, still. 4 words that shake the gates of doubt. 4 words that tell heaven, I am still standing. 4 words that announce to the unseen realm that you refuse to surrender. Let them echo. Let them carry weight. Because the whisper of God is still moving, and soon it will thunder again. You were never meant to blend in. From the moment you entered this world, heaven placed something in you that refused to conform. You've tried, how you've tried to fit in, to quiet your light, to make others comfortable with your difference. But every time you shrink, something inside of you aches. Because the divine spark in your spirit cannot be contained by mediocrity. You were not made for sameness. You were crafted for distinction. Even as a child, you noticed things others missed. You felt deeper, dreamed higher, and questioned what everyone else accepted. That sensitivity wasn't weakness, it was early evidence of divine awareness. You've always seen beyond the surface, always sensed that there was more to this life than the visible. That awareness isolated you at times, made you feel strange, misunderstood, or even unwanted. But heaven says, that isolation was an invitation, according to what is revealed in the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 5. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. You spent years trying to understand why you never quite fit into the molds others built. You bent yourself to expectations, changed your language, softened your convictions, and lowered your fire just to be accepted. Yet every time you did, peace left you. Because peace doesn't dwell in pretense, it dwells in purpose. You are at your calmest when you are most authentic, when you stop performing and start walking in alignment. The world trains people to seek approval. Heaven trains the chosen to seek assignment. You've reached the point now where pretending feels heavier than rejection. God is peeling away the layers of expectation so that the real you, the radiant, unashamed, spirit-filled you can emerge. Every misunderstanding was necessary to separate you from imitation. Chosen one. Hear this clearly: the loneliness you felt was never punishment. It was purification. God was cleaning the atmosphere around you. Some connections couldn't follow you into the next chapter. Not because they were evil, but because they weren't equipped for where you're going. The people who dismissed you were unknowingly part of a divine script. Their absence cleared the space for heaven's alignment. When everyone walked away, God didn't. When doors closed, He built new ones. You thought you lost everything, but in truth, you lost only what couldn't carry your destiny. You are stepping into a season where authenticity will be your armor and discernment your weapon. The moment you stopped begging to be understood, you started walking in real power. There's a deep rest that comes when you finally stop explaining your calling to people who were never meant to understand it. You owe no one an apology for growing beyond their comfort zone. Your obedience to God may offend the complacent, but it will awaken the hungry. You were chosen not to entertain crowds, but to enlighten souls. The rejection that broke your heart was actually divine redirection. Every no that cut deep was heaven whispering, "Not here, not yet." You kept knocking on closed doors, thinking you needed to prove yourself, but God was guiding you to something better, a place where your voice will not be tolerated but celebrated. You've carried the ache of being too much, too intense, too emotional, too spiritual. But what they called too much was exactly the portion heaven assigned to you. That passion, that depth, that fire, those are not flaws. They are the fingerprints of your purpose. When the Spirit of God breathes on someone, ordinary disappears. You were not designed to be common. You were born to be a signal of divine difference. Chosen one. Soon you'll see why you had to walk this path alone for a while. Solitude sharpens the soul. Silence becomes the soil where revelation grows. While others chased visibility, God hid you in the shadows to grow roots that fame could never sustain. He was building your foundation strong enough to carry the weight of influence without collapsing under it. Every misunderstanding shaped humility. Every disappointment built discernment. Every heartbreak taught wisdom. You've been in the furnace not for punishment, but for formation. Gold doesn't protest the fire, it endures until it gleams. You are that gold. The flames that tried to destroy you have refined you into something radiant and incorruptible. Now heaven whispers, stop explaining yourself and start expressing me. Because your identity is not found in the opinions of people, but in the breath of God that formed you. The time for apologizing for your difference is over. The world doesn't need more imitation, it needs illumination. You will never again shrink to make others comfortable. You will never again apologize for being called, anointed, and set apart. The glow that intimidates some is the same light that will guide others home. You are not eccentric, you are eternal. You are not excessive, you are exceptional. Heaven keeps records. Every moment you've lived, every tear you've cried, every breath you've taken in faith, it has all been written. Nothing in your story is wasted. Even the smallest act of kindness, the quietest prayer, the hidden sacrifices no one saw. Heaven saw them all. There are scrolls of remembrance, and your name is written there, glowing with divine ink that never fades. The prophet Daniel once saw books opened before the throne, and every act of obedience was accounted for. Your faith, no matter how fragile it felt, has been added to that record. Even when you doubted, even when you felt unworthy, your persistence in believing became evidence of loyalty. You are not forgotten. You are not unseen. The one who called you keeps perfect track of your steps. Heaven speaks clearly through the words in Deuteronomy, chapter 31, verse 6. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified because of them. For the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. Every word of that promise is alive around you. It hovers like light in your atmosphere, covering you even when you feel uncovered. God never left you. Not when the money ran out, not when the friends disappeared, not when you sat in a dark room wondering if you mattered. He was there, always there. The silence wasn't absence. It was the shadow of his protection. Chosen one. Sometimes your obedience has felt like pouring water into dry soil. You've loved people who didn't return love. You've served in silence and given even when you lacked. You've planted generosity like seeds into hard ground, unsure if they would ever grow. But heaven says today every seed counts. Your kindness has not vanished into thin air. It has been stored in the soil of eternity, waiting for the appointed rain. There is a season of divine return when what you've sown in tears will bloom in joy. The record keeper of heaven is also the reward giver of heaven, and he never forgets. You may not realize it, but your story has already been feeding others. The strength that got you through your darkest season is now becoming someone else's roadmap. Your endurance is teaching those around you how to stand when life shakes. That is how heaven multiplies impact, not through fame, but through faithfulness. And now, as your light grows brighter, you are called to keep it burning not alone, but together with those who walk this same journey. When you share this message, when you give voice to your testimony, when you help keep this light shining for others, you become a bridge for those still lost in their night. Think of it like this: every act of sharing, every contribution, every small support is like adding oil to a collective lamp. The flame grows stronger, illuminating paths for countless souls who have forgotten what hope feels like. Some of them may never step into a church, but they will meet God through your willingness to share what reached you. If these words have poured peace into your spirit, let that peace ripple outward. Like, share, subscribe not as routine actions, but as sacred echoes of gratitude. You're not just supporting a page, you're building a sanctuary of light that travels beyond screens, beyond countries, into hearts that are desperate for a whisper of heaven. And if you feel led to give as one sowing into holy ground. Your support is not payment, it's participation. Every donation, every offering, every shared link becomes part of a divine ecosystem that keeps light alive in dark spaces. You may never see the full fruit of your giving on this side of eternity, but heaven's record books will show that you helped carry hope into homes, into hearts, into lives that were fading. Imagine the ripple one spark becomes two become 10 become 1,000. Each person who finds healing because you kept the light alive becomes another flicker of grace. That's how heaven works, quietly multiplying what seems small until it becomes unstoppable. You are part of that multiplication now. This message found you so it could move through you. You are both receiver and messenger, vessel and voice. And as you pour out, more will pour in. For when light is shared, it never diminishes, it only spreads. Let your generosity, in whatever form it takes your time, your words, your prayers, your resources become your offering to heaven's mission. Because you are not just being inspired, you are being invited to help keep this divine conversation alive, to ensure that others hear what you have just heard. Chosen one, your story is sacred ink on heaven's scrolls. You may feel small in the world's eyes, but in eternity's light, You are vast. You are proof that one obedient heart can change the temperature of an entire atmosphere. So as this moment settles over you, let gratitude rise. Whisper, "Thank you, Lord, for remembering me." Feel that warmth, heaven smiling back. And know that as you move forward, as you support this light, as you share it with others, you are helping rewrite destinies. Because heaven keeps records, and the next line it writes will tell of how you became a keeper of light for others. You stand at a crossroads, chosen one. Everything around you feels like it's shifting, the air heavier, the days shorter, the silence louder. You can sense that something in the unseen is moving, aligning, waiting for your response. This is not just another season, this is a turning point. You've prayed for clarity, and heaven answers not always with explanations, but with invitations. The invitation before you now is obedience. It's the moment when heaven leans close and whispers, "What will you do next?" The decision you make here determines what opens ahead. You may not realize it, but heaven is holding its breath, watching your next step. Angels are stationed, waiting for the sound of your agreement, because your yes activates things in the spiritual realm that silence cannot. You are standing in the threshold between what was and what will be, and time itself bows when obedience speaks. As the apostle reminds us in his letter to the Corinthians, chapter 2, verse 9, "No eye has seen, no ear has heard, and no human mind has conceived the things God has prepared for those who love him." That promise is not abstract, it's personal. It means that right now, beyond the noise, beyond the visible, there are blessings forming with your name written upon them. They are waiting for your next act of surrender. The path is not revealed until you take the step. You've felt like life has been repeating itself, cycles of hope followed by disappointment, prayers followed by silence, doors opening only to close again. But heaven says, this time is different. This time, the cycle breaks. This time, your decision changes everything. You see, destiny does not open by accident. It opens by alignment. When your heart, your words, and your actions unite in obedience, the heavens respond instantly. There are doors that will never move until you do. This is why the enemy has fought you so hard. He fears your obedience more than your prayer. Chosen one, you are not waiting for God nearly as much as God is waiting for you. The heavens have been poised, ready to release favor, but the key has always been in your hands. Fear told you to hesitate, doubt told you to delay, but faith now says, move. Do not think lightly of this moment. There are spiritual crossroads that come only once. You may not hear trumpets or see angels, but the decision you make today echoes in eternity. Heaven does not measure obedience by comfort, but by courage. The question is not, are you ready, but are you willing? Remember, the promise of God often comes wrapped in risk. Abraham had to leave everything familiar. Moses had to face what once terrified him. Peter had to step out of the boat before the water became solid. None of them saw the miracle before they moved. They saw it because they moved. So now, heaven asks you the same. Will you trust the unseen? Will you move when it doesn't make sense? Will you act when the world says wait? If you could see the angels assigned to your obedience, you'd never hesitate again. They stand ready to push open gates that fear has locked. They wait for your declaration, your faith, your yes. This is your burning bush moment, the one that separates the past you from the purpose you. And as a prophetic sign of your agreement, I want you to act, not in emotion, but in faith. Seal your yes by commenting the number 444. 4, the number of stability, foundation, and divine order. It symbolizes the structure of creation itself, the 4 corners of the earth, the 4 winds of heaven, the 4 living creatures before the throne. By writing 444, you are saying, God, establish me. Build me on your order. Align my life to your pattern. This is not superstition, this is symbolism. It's your way of declaring that you are ready to be built, not broken. Ready to stand, not sway. Ready to trust, not tremble. Every time you type it, you are imprinting your faith into the atmosphere, a visible echo of an invisible yes, chosen one. Heaven records even this small act. Every digital word typed in faith becomes spiritual ink in the book of remembrance. You may feel it simple, but heaven calls it significant. So pause right here, let your heart steady and whisper softly, yes, Lord, I trust you. Because once you do, everything unseen begins to move. Alignments shift, obstacles weaken, the road ahead begins to light. Your obedience will become the bridge others cross into their own breakthrough. This is not only about your life, it's about legacy. Heaven is not asking for perfection, just participation. Step forward. Chosen one. This is your turning point. When the fire came, you thought it would consume you. You looked around and saw everything familiar begin to burn: relationships, plans, dreams, even the image of who you once thought you were. It felt like loss, like destruction, like punishment. But heaven whispers now it was purification. Fire doesn't always mean the end. Sometimes it means rebirth. Flames are never random in the life of the chosen, they are tools of transformation. God never allows a fire that will not refine. He permits heat only when he intends to reveal gold. The voice of God thundered in the book of Exodus, chapter 3, verse 2. There the angel of the Lord appeared to him in flames of fire from within a bush. Moses saw that though the bush was on fire, it did not burn up. That is your story too. You have been surrounded by fire, but you have not been consumed. Everything external seemed to fall apart, yet something within you kept burning brighter. That's because the flame wasn't sent to destroy you, it was sent to distinguish you. Moses saw the bush burning and turned aside to look, and that's when God spoke. The moment you looked at your own fire with faith instead of fear, heaven began to speak to you as well. Fire becomes holy when you stop running from it and start listening through it. The flames you faced weren't meant to prove your weakness, but to expose your resilience. You've survived situations that would have buried others. You've endured seasons that stripped you bare, and somehow through tears, through exhaustion, you kept walking. That is the miracle. You didn't escape the fire, you emerged from it. Chosen one when the fire came. It didn't just remove what was temporary, it revealed what was eternal. You discovered the strength of your spirit, the depth of your faith, and the unwavering love of the God who never left your side. The world saw ashes, but heaven saw awakening. There were moments you prayed for the fire to stop, not realizing that heaven was answering a different prayer, the one where you said, Lord, make me more like you. You asked for growth, and fire came to burn away what couldn't grow with you. You asked for purity, and fire came to expose the impurities. When you asked for purpose, and fire came to destroy distraction. Fire always answers the hidden prayers of the heart. It is heaven's surgery, painful but precise. Do you remember how you questioned God in those burning seasons, how you said, Lord, why this, why now? Why me but now? Standing beyond the smoke, you can see it more clearly. The things that burned were never meant to last. The relationships that ended, the doors that closed, the opportunities that disappeared, they were not rejections, they were divine removals. You were being prepared for something sacred, something that couldn't exist alongside compromise. That's why the heat intensified when you tried to hold on to what God was asking you to release. Fire forces decision. It draws a line between what is essential and what is excess. And when everything unnecessary burned away, what remained was the purest version of you, the part heaven recognizes. That's the version God uses, chosen one. There's something powerful about realizing that you survived what was designed to destroy you. The devil watched you walk through fire and expected ashes, but you came out glowing. You are living proof that grace is not fragile, it is fireproof. The world may only see the smoke, but heaven sees the shine. And now, when you walk into new seasons, you carry the scent of survival, the fragrance of faith that has been tested and proven. Others will sense it in your presence. They won't understand it fully, but they'll feel peace around you. Because those who have been through fire carry an authority that cannot be faked. You will notice that what used to shake you no longer does. The storms that once terrified you now sound like background noise. Because once you've walked through fire with God, rain and thunder lose their power to intimidate. The flames have turned into light. The very thing that once hurt you will soon become the testimony that heals others. You'll look back and realize that what you thought was destruction was actually design. What you thought was loss was preparation for increase. The fire didn't break you, it branded you. Heaven recognizes that mark. Darkness fears it. That's why new levels of peace, clarity, and power are coming your way. Because the refining is over. The gold is ready. Chosen one, lift your head. The ashes beneath your feet are not symbols of defeat, they are proof of what you've overcome. Every ember that tried to consume you now glows as evidence that you were never alone in the flames. The fire came, it raged, it roared, but it did not win. You are still here, still chosen, still burning with holy light. There is a mark upon you that you cannot see, yet every realm, both light and darkness, recognizes it. It is not a scar from your past, it is a signature of heaven. You have been sealed, chosen one. When you walk into a room, the atmosphere shifts, not because of what you say, but because of what you carry. You've wondered why people react strangely to you, why some are drawn to your presence while others seem to withdraw without reason. It is because your spirit carries a frequency that either awakens or agitates. The ancient words recorded in Romans, chapter 8, verse 30. Those he predestined, he also called. Those he called, he also justified. Those he justified, he also glorified. This is the divine progression written over your life. You were predestined, chosen before birth, then called, drawn by purpose, then justified, washed clean by mercy, and now glorified not in human applause but in divine recognition. Heaven has already declared you approved. You carry the mark of the chosen, the unseen glow of divine ownership. Darkness recognizes it the moment you enter its territory. That's why you've often been targeted, misunderstood, even attacked without reason. It's not that you did something wrong. It's that your existence disrupts spiritual systems built on deception. Demons don't attack the asleep, they attack the awakened. Chosen one. The spiritual mark upon you is both armor and announcement. It tells darkness, this one belongs to the King. It also tells heaven, this one is ready for greater things. You may not see it, but you wear a crown of invisible light. It was placed there not when you succeeded, but when you surrendered. You might remember moments in your life when you should have been destroyed, accidents narrowly avoided, despair interrupted by peace, breakdowns that turned into breakthroughs. Those weren't coincidences. They were proof that divine protection recognized its mark upon you. Heaven cannot lose what heaven has sealed. This mark does not mean your life will be easy. It means your life will be impactful. It means that spiritual warfare will find you, not because you are weak, but because you are powerful. The higher your calling, the heavier the resistance. You are a walking contradiction to darkness, and that contradiction frustrates hell itself. There are people who have tried to curse you, mock you, dismiss you, and yet every word they've spoken against you has boomeranged back into silence. It's because you are shielded by a covenant they can't break. You've been wondering why betrayal hurt but never broke you, why loneliness wounded but never destroyed you. It's because you are covered. Your calling is not fragile. It cannot be erased by gossip, failure, or delay. Heaven does not revoke assignments, it refines them. Every setback has only sharpened your discernment. Every heartbreak has expanded your compassion. Every fall has birthed deeper humility. You are becoming unstoppable not by avoiding pain, but by surviving it. The hidden mark you carry also functions as a magnet for divine encounters. People will come into your life who recognize something familiar in you. They may not have the language for it, but they'll feel peace when they're near you. It's not charisma, it's calling. You carry the fragrance of heaven. That's also why counterfeits are drawn to you. There are those who crave your light but do not want your process. They want your oil but not your altar. This is why discernment is essential. The mark attracts both the hungry and the harmful. Your wisdom must decide who to feed and who to walk away from. Do not resent the isolation that often follows this awareness. The more radiant your mark becomes, the smaller your circle will get. Not everyone can handle the intensity of a chosen one. You must learn to be comfortable in divine company even when human company is scarce. You are never truly alone. The Spirit that sealed you walks with you always. Chosen one. Understand this, your mark is not a badge of superiority, it's a banner of responsibility. It means you have been entrusted with light that must be carried into dark places. Your assignment is not to boast about being chosen, but to serve as evidence that grace still chooses. You are not called to impress, you are called to impact. The hidden mark of the chosen is not visible ink, it is resilience, compassion, and unwavering light. And whether you see it or not, you carry it now. So walk with quiet confidence. You don't need to prove your anointing, you only need to live it. Darkness already knows your name. Heaven already knows your worth. And soon, the world will know your impact. Your light terrifies the shadows. Every time you rise, darkness trembles. You may not see it, but when you choose peace instead of anger, when you choose faith instead of fear, when you choose forgiveness instead of revenge, light explodes in the unseen world. And that light, your light, exposes and disarms everything that once sought to destroy you. You've wondered why warfare follows you even when you're doing right, even when your heart is pure. It's because the moment you start shining, you become a threat. The enemy doesn't waste energy on the passive, he targets the powerful. You are the disruption he didn't plan for. As the Spirit spoke through the prophet Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 19. They will fight against you but will not overcome you, for I am with you and will rescue you, declares the Lord. You've lived this verse without even realizing it. People, circumstances, even unseen forces have come against you, and yet somehow, you're still standing. You've been through storms that could have drowned you, but instead, you learned to walk on water. Every attack became evidence of your endurance. Every wound became an opening for greater wisdom. There are those who will not understand your peace after pain. They'll see your calm and assume life has been kind to you. They won't know that peace was not given, it was fought for. You wrestled with fear until faith replaced it. You cried until strength was born in the tears. You built your light in the dark. one prayer at a time. And now, you radiate something that can't be fabricated, authentic power born from perseverance. That's what makes shadows flee. That's why some people feel uneasy around you. It's not that you've done them wrong, it's that your light confronts their comfort with compromise. Chosen one, don't apologize for shining. Your glow doesn't steal from others, it invites them higher. You are not the source of the light. You are the vessel that reflects it. When you walk in truth, you are carrying God's torch through a darkened world. You've been assigned to illuminate, not imitate. There's a beauty in your quiet boldness. You don't need to announce your strength. It announces itself in how you keep showing up. Every morning you rise after a night of doubt, you are preaching a silent sermon that heaven applauds. The darkness thought it had you, but the sunrise proves otherwise. Remember, shadows cannot exist without light. The very presence of darkness around you is evidence that you're shining. That's why the enemy tries to distract you, to convince you that you're still in bondage when you've already been freed. He wants you to dim yourself, to second-guess your calling, to doubt your worth. But heaven says, do not shrink, do not silence yourself. Do not hide your fire to make the blind comfortable. You are stepping into a time when your light will no longer flicker, it will blaze. The world will begin to notice what heaven has always known, that you are a carrier of clarity, a messenger of mercy, a reflection of divine radiance. You don't need to compete. You need only to continue. Your consistency is warfare. Chosen one. You may have walked through places where hope seemed impossible, but that was heaven training you to shine under pressure. Diamonds don't glow in comfort. They sparkle under weight. You are heaven's diamond, cut, pressed, refined, and now the brilliance is beginning to show. Every time you open your mouth to speak truth, chains break. Every time you forgive, unknown walls fall. Every time you love when it would be easier to hate, the kingdom of darkness loses ground. You are more powerful than you know, because you don't operate from emotion, you operate from anointing. Heaven wants you to realize that your light is not fragile, it's fueled. Fueled by every tear you thought was wasted, every disappointment you thought was meaningless, every betrayal you thought was final. Each one became oil for your lamp, and now the flame burns higher. So now, as a declaration of faith and authority, type these words in the comments: I carry light. 3 words, simple but sacred. You're not just writing a phrase, you're making a proclamation. You're reminding darkness that it cannot have you, reminding your soul that you are not weak, and reminding heaven that you are still available to shine. When you declare, I carry light, something shifts in the spirit. You're aligning yourself with divine energy, agreeing with heaven's truth about who you are. It's more than words, it's warfare. Because the moment you identify yourself as light, darkness loses permission to define you. Don't underestimate the power of that confession. Every echo of it adds brightness to your path, strength to your voice, and courage to your heart. You're not just surviving anymore, you're illuminating. And where light goes, fear flees. So hold your head high. Chosen one. The shadows around you are proof that your flame is real. Keep shining, keep walking, keep believing. The same God who ignited your spirit will sustain it. You carry light and the darkness knows it. There is a crown waiting in the silence. It does not sit on a stage or glitter under bright lights. It waits quietly, resting on a table carved by unseen hands, reserved for those who have endured without applause. Heaven crowns the obedient, not the loud, the faithful in hidden places wear heavier glory than those who chase recognition in public ones. You, chosen one, have spent long seasons walking through quiet roads, wondering if anyone noticed your faithfulness. You gave, forgave, and stayed when leaving would have been easier. You obeyed the whisper even when it cost you comfort. Those moments unseen, uncelebrated were the polishing of your crown. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms. Chapter 75, verse 6. For promotion comes neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south. But God is the judge, he sets up another. Every crown that heaven gives is carved in stillness. You don't chase it, you become it. The weight you've carried, the tears you've sown, the nights you've held on when faith was flickering, each of these moments became jewels forged in your obedience. When heaven places this crown, it will fit perfectly because it was shaped by your pain. You see, the world loves noise, but heaven listens for faith. The loud may attract attention, but the faithful attract anointing. You have been building altars while others built platforms. You have chosen presence over popularity, purpose over performance, and because of that, heaven says, now, it is time. There's something sacred about quiet preparation. Seeds don't sprout under applause, they grow underground, where no one claps, where no one notices. But when they rise, they change landscapes. That's you. The roots you've grown in solitude are now strong enough to carry the fruit that's coming. Soon, the silence that once felt like exile will become the echo of elevation. Heaven's promotion rarely arrives with trumpets. It comes like morning light, gentle, consistent, unstoppable. You'll wake up one day and realize that the waiting was never wasted. It was the forming of your authority. Chosen one. This is not a fairy tale. Crowns in heaven's kingdom are not made of gold, they are made of endurance. And every time you said yes when you wanted to quit, another gem was placed in yours. That's why this next season requires humility. You won't have to announce your arrival. The fragrance of grace will do that for you. And as you step into that new light, remember, crowns are not meant to be hoarded. They are meant to be shared. Your story, your strength, your scars. These are offerings. When you share your journey, you help others find their crowns too. Every word of encouragement you release becomes a seed that grows in someone else's desert. That's why these messages matter. They are not entertainment. They are nourishment. They are water for weary souls. Bread for the broken, fire for the fading. If this word has reached you, it's because heaven wanted to remind you that your silence has purpose and your endurance has meaning. So I invite you, not out of demand, but out of divine partnership, help keep this flame alive. When you like, when you share, when you subscribe, you are helping carry the light into places your voice alone may never reach. You become a link in a holy chain of awakening. It's like passing a torch down a dark corridor. The flame grows each time another hand joins the line. And if your heart feels moved to support this work, to help sustain the flow of these messages, your donation is not just generosity, it's investment in eternity. It keeps the oil in the lamps, the lights burning on the hill. It allows the message that lifted you to find the next weary soul sitting in the dark, scrolling for hope. Imagine that soul, the one who feels unseen, the one on the edge of giving up. Your act of support might be the spark that reaches them in time. That is how heaven works, through partnership, through compassion, through unseen acts of obedience that ripple beyond imagination. You are not just a listener, you are a co-builder of light. Every action you take, every click, every share, every seed you sow becomes a brick in the temple of hope that heaven is raising across this world. You're helping build something eternal, something that outlives both of us. Chosen one. You've waited long enough to see what your endurance was preparing. The season of unseen obedience is turning into visible favor. Your harvest is not far off. Your crown is closer than you think. It doesn't sparkle for attention, it radiates with assignment. And when that crown settles on your spirit, you'll realize something beautiful. It was never about being seen by men. It was about being trusted by God. That's the true reward, to be trusted with His glory, to carry it gently, humbly, wisely. So as this word sinks in, lift your head once more. Let gratitude rise. Whisper, "Thank you, Lord, for remembering me," because He has. And through every act of faith, every moment of giving, every shared light, you remind the world that crowns are not given for comfort, but for courage. Your silence has crowned you. Your obedience has elevated you. And your generosity will multiply light for generations to come. The hour of separation has begun. You can feel it in the air, something shifting, something sacred dividing light from shadow. Heaven is drawing lines, not to punish, but to purify. The time of blending has ended. Those who walk in truth are being set apart from those who merely speak it. The wheat and the weeds have grown together long enough. Now the gardener moves through the field with careful hands. This is not a separation born of pride, but of purpose. God is not rejecting anyone, He is revealing who is truly aligned with Him. The shaking you felt in relationships, in communities, even within yourself, is heaven rearranging everything to fit the design of destiny. The connections that no longer fit are falling away, not because they were evil, but because their assignment in your story is complete. As was spoken in the sacred texts of old, in the Gospel of Luke, chapter 12, verse 51. Do you think I came to bring peace on earth? No, I tell you, but division. Those words sound heavy, but they carry deep mercy. Jesus wasn't speaking of chaos, He was speaking of clarity. The truth divides not to destroy, but to define. And now that same truth is visiting your life, peeling away layers of confusion to reveal what is real and what is residue. You've noticed it. Some people who once understood you can no longer hear you. Conversations that once flowed easily now fall silent. Doors that once swung open now stay closed. You've asked, "Did I do something wrong?" But heaven answers, "No, you simply outgrew the room." Growth always brings separation. You can't carry old containers into new seasons. When wine matures, it expands, and if the skin holding it doesn't stretch, both are lost. That's why God sometimes removes people or places you love so that your expansion won't destroy what's around you. Chosen one. Separation is not abandonment, it's advancement. You are being moved from the crowd to the called. There is a difference. The crowd follows miracles, the called become them. And that transition requires solitude, silence, and surrender. It's painful. Yes, there are nights when you'll miss the familiar laughter, the sense of belonging you once had. But remember, belonging to the wrong environment will always suffocate your purpose. The bird that outgrows its cage must fly, even if the cage felt safe. Do not grieve too long for what is left. You can mourn the moment without missing the message. Every departure teaches discernment. You are learning to love without clinging, to release without resentment. That's spiritual maturity, to trust that what leaves your life was never meant to limit it. There's a sacred loneliness that comes with elevation. Even Jesus experienced it. The higher He climbed, the smaller His circle became. At the cross, only a few remained. But it was in that loneliness that resurrection power was prepared. The same is true for you. True. This season of divine separation is making space for resurrection of dreams, of faith, of identity. When God separates, He doesn't subtract. He sanctifies. He clears the noise so that you can hear Him again. Some of the people who left were voices that once comforted you but now confused you. Heaven knew that if they stayed, their opinions would drown out his instructions. So, he allowed silence to speak louder than words. Chosen one, you are not being punished. You are being purified. The fire of discernment burns away imitation so that only authenticity remains. You will find that what's left is stronger, purer, and freer than before. Soon, you'll look back and thank God for the ones who walked away, because their exit opened the space for divine partnerships to enter. True alignment can only come after false attachments fall away. The people meant for your future will recognize your flame, not resist it. They will not compete with your calling, they will complement it. Do not chase after those who do not recognize your worth. The same God who removed them is preparing those who will honor the anointing on your life. Wait for the ones who speak to your spirit, not just your situation. Wait for those who love you not for what you do, but for who you are becoming. This separation may feel like pruning, but pruning always precedes fruitfulness. Every branch cut is an invitation to grow stronger. The gardener knows what he's doing. Let him trim what no longer bears life. You are stepping into clarity. Your circle will be smaller, but it will be sacred. You will have fewer voices around you, but more peace within you. The noise of the crowd will fade, but the whisper of God will grow clearer than ever. And when you finally stand among the few who truly see you, you'll realize that separation was not loss. It was love. Heaven loved you too much to let you remain half awake, half bound, half ready. The hour of separation is the hour of revelation. Everything falling away is making room for the divine to settle in full. You are not being cut off. You are being set apart. Heaven's countdown has begun. You can feel it, a quiet urgency humming beneath every sunrise, every decision, every heartbeat. The spiritual clock is ticking, not toward destruction, but toward divine fulfillment. The things once delayed are aligning. The doors once closed are trembling on their hinges. What was once distant is now within reach. This is a holy tension. Heaven isn't rushing you, it's readying you. The angels assigned to your purpose have begun to move in synchronization with heaven's timeline. You've been in the waiting room long enough. The clock that once seemed frozen has started to move again, according to what is revealed in the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not delay. This scripture has lived in your bones without you realizing it. You've carried promise after promise, wondering when it would finally manifest. Heaven is saying now. The appointed time is not far off. The waiting was never denial, it was development. You've been stretched, pressed, refined. Every moment of silence has built patience. Every disappointment has deepened dependence. God wasn't withholding, he was preparing. Because blessings that arrive too early become burdens, and the Lord loves you too much to let timing destroy purpose. Chosen one. Heaven is counting down not in fear but in fulfillment. It's like watching a dawn approach. The sky is still dark, but light is beginning to whisper across the horizon. The faint glow you see isn't imagination. It's the first sign that morning is inevitable. There is a thin line between waiting and walking. You've done the waiting. Now heaven invites you to walk. The countdown isn't to frighten you, it's to focus you. It's time to align your spirit with divine rhythm, to listen closely for instructions you used to overlook. Because in these next moments, obedience will move faster than opportunity. Every divine countdown comes with a test. Will you move when heaven says now, even if your feelings say not yet? The countdown requires courage. It asks you to believe before you see. to prepare before you possess, to trust before you understand. So the spiritual world is shifting, new doors are unlocking, but they open only for those positioned correctly. You can't enter new seasons with old postures. The hesitation that once protected you must now be replaced with boldness. Heaven's timing is perfect, but it waits for your participation. Chosen one, don't mistake patience for passivity. Waiting was never meant to keep you still, it was meant to keep you ready. Now, heaven's rhythm beats faster, calling you to step into alignment. This is your moment of movement, your hour of action. The promises written in the unseen are preparing to take form. It's as though heaven is whispering, 3, 2, 1, now. That's the pulse of heaven's countdown, not fear, not chaos, but divine alignment reaching its crescendo. The delays that once confused you are about to make sense. The doors that stayed shut are about to open so smoothly it will seem effortless. The same God who told you to wait is now saying, go. So as an act of faith, as a visible echo of invisible trust, type this number in the comments, 555. 5, the number of grace, 555, grace multiplied, grace overflowing, grace redefined. By writing 555, you are declaring, I align myself with heaven's time. I step into grace for movement, grace for manifestation, grace for fulfillment. This isn't superstition, it's symbolism. It's the language of faith written in the digital world, a prophetic marker that says, my waiting has not been wasted. Heaven reads every echo of belief, every whisper of trust. The act of writing this number is not magic, it's meaning. It's agreement. Think of it like setting your internal clock to heaven's time zone. Every time you write it, you synchronize your spirit with divine rhythm. You remind your heart that God's promises are not late, they are precise. There is something powerful about aligning your faith with heaven's countdown. It releases peace in the waiting, clarity in the movement, and joy in the unfolding. When you move in sync with God, you never have to chase what's already yours. Chosen one. The countdown is not meant to pressure you, it's meant to prepare you. Every tick of heaven's clock is a heartbeat of grace drawing you closer to manifestation. The promises are real. The shift is near. The time is now. So breathe deep. Straighten your shoulders. Feel the air around you hum with expectancy. Heaven's timing is not running out, it's running into your life, into your purpose, into your now. And when the countdown reaches completion, you'll stand where prayers once stood alone, watching what you once only hoped for unfold before your eyes. Heaven's countdown isn't ending your story, it's beginning the next chapter. Something inside you has begun to stir. It started as a quiet pulse beneath the noise, a gentle awareness that there's more. More to your life, more to your story, more to your purpose. This isn't restlessness, it's awakening. Heaven is awakening you from the inside out, reminding your spirit of what it once knew before this world made you forget. You felt it in the small moments, those sudden bursts of clarity when everything ordinary around you seems to pause. It's as if eternity whispers your name through everyday things, a beam of sunlight through a window, a line in a song that pierces your heart, a sudden peace in the middle of chaos. That's heaven calling you to remember. The Apostle Paul wrote about this mystery in the book of Ephesians, chapter 5, verse 14. Wake up, sleeper, rise from the dead, and Christ will shine on you. This verse isn't about physical death, it's about spiritual awakening. You've been breathing, functioning, existing, but now heaven calls you to live, to see again with eyes of fire, to hear again with ears that discern heaven's frequency, to feel again the pulse of divine purpose that beats beneath the surface of every moment. Chosen one. The awakening within you is both gentle and fierce. It doesn't arrive as a thunderclap, it grows like dawn. Slowly, steadily, it begins to replace numbness with knowing. You are remembering that you were not placed on this earth just to survive, you were sent to serve, to shine, to shift the atmosphere around you. For so long, the world has tried to put you to sleep. Through disappointment, distraction, and doubt, it whispered lullabies of limitation. You can't. You're not enough. Stay quiet, stay small. And for a time, you believed them. You dimmed your fire. You silenced your roar. You forgot that the same spirit that raised Christ from the dead dwells in you. But heaven never forgot. And now that spirit stirs again, brushing off the dust of delay, awakening your inner warrior. You are starting to see that the heaviness you've carried was not just exhaustion. It was resistance. Every step toward awakening shakes the ground of the enemy. You're noticing things differently. You no longer tolerate what drains you. You're no longer content with surface-level conversations or temporary escapes. You crave depth, meaning, connection. You hunger for truth, for presence, for something real. That hunger is holy. It's the evidence that your spirit is waking up. Do not be afraid of this awakening. It will cost you comfort. It will demand honesty. It will ask you to confront parts of yourself that you've ignored. But on the other side of that confrontation lies freedom. The process of awakening is like the breaking of a cocoon. It's uncomfortable, even painful, but it's necessary. The cocoon was never punishment, it was protection. It held you while you transformed. But once the wings form, the shell must break. That's where you are now, stretching inside something too small for who you've become. You may find yourself crying without knowing why, feeling emotional over small things, sensing the presence of God in moments that used to feel ordinary. Don't suppress it, lean in. These are the labor pains of new life being born in you. The awakening is heaven breathing again through your lungs. Chosen one, you are remembering your divine DNA. You were never meant to be lukewarm, half awake, or half alive. You were created to burn with purpose, to stand as light in a world that forgot how to see. The awakening will change how you speak. Your words will begin to carry weight because they will no longer come from emotion but from revelation. You will notice that what once frightened you now fuels you. Fear will no longer anchor you, it will announce that something powerful is near. You are awakening to authority, the authority to command peace over chaos, to speak life over death, to stand firm when others crumble. That authority doesn't come from arrogance, it comes from alignment. When you align with heaven, even your whisper carries power. This awakening is not just personal, it's generational. As you rise, those connected to you will begin to stir. Your courage will call forth theirs. Your transformation will ripple through bloodlines. You will break cycles that have bound families for decades simply by choosing to live awake. And though awakening can feel lonely at first, it's never isolation, it's invitation. Heaven is saying, come higher, come deeper, come closer. You're being summoned to operate from vision, not survival, from faith, not fear. Soon, everything will make sense, the detours, the delays, the deserts. You'll see that God was never distant. He was drawing you into this moment of realization. The version of you emerging now is the one creation has been waiting for, the healed, aligned, unafraid version. Awakening isn't about becoming someone new. It's about remembering who you've always been beneath the noise, chosen, empowered, radiant. The light within you is not returning, it's revealing. Everything around you feels as though it's shaking. The structures you thought were solid are trembling. Plans you built carefully are coming undone. Even the ground beneath your certainty feels unsteady. But before fear speaks, listen, this shaking is not destruction, it is divine rearrangement. Heaven is not punishing you, it is positioning you. Every great move of God begins with a shaking. When the earth trembles, foundations are tested. What is not rooted in truth falls away. What is built on faith remains. This is how heaven separates the permanent from the temporary, as the prophet Haggai recorded in the scriptures. Chapter 2, verse 7. I will shake all nations, and what is desired by all nations will come, and I will fill this house with glory, says the Lord Almighty. This shaking you feel is not just personal, it's cosmic. God is shaking everything that can be shaken, not to harm you, but to reveal glory through you. The world's systems are shifting, and heaven is realigning what has been upside down for too long. You are not caught in chaos. You are standing in the middle of recreation. The shaking has purpose. It exposes what's false, tests what's true, and strengthens what's eternal. You prayed for God to make you unshakable, and this is how He answers. He shakes everything around you until your faith stands on what cannot move. It's like a great storm at sea. The waves crash, the winds howl, but deep beneath the surface, the ocean floor doesn't move. That's where your soul is learning to live, not tossed by emotion, but anchored by conviction. You may have noticed relationships changing, careers shifting, doors closing unexpectedly. These are not random collapses, they're divine constructions. God is removing what no longer aligns with your future. He's shaking loose attachments that could not hold your calling. The shaking doesn't come to hurt you, it comes to help you. The potter shakes the clay not to destroy the vessel, but to remove the air bubbles that would make it crack in the fire. The gardener shakes the tree not to harm it, but to release fruit that's ready for harvest. The shaking is never senseless, it's strategic. Chosen one. You must understand this: the shaking that terrifies the world empowers the faithful. Because when everything external starts to collapse, you discover the unbreakable within. You learn that your peace was never anchored in possessions, people, or positions, it was anchored in presence. This is why your spirit feels alive even as your circumstances tremble. You are being reminded that you belong to an unshakable kingdom. The world may twist, economies may falter, people may change, but the voice that called you from eternity does not waver. And yes, it hurts. Growth always does. The friction of change grinds against comfort. But remember, even earthquakes are part of creation's rhythm. They make room for new landscapes to form. The shaking in your life is creating space for what's been promised. Think of your life as a great temple under restoration. The scaffolding shakes, the walls are dusted, the stones shift. For a moment, it looks like chaos. But the architect isn't panicking, he's perfecting. Every crack he exposes, he fills. Every beam he replaces, he strengthens. Soon, the dust will settle, and you'll see that the foundation was always secure. It just needed to be revealed. This is the moment when faith graduates from words to reality. You can't claim unshakable faith without first enduring what shakes. And every tremor that passes through your life is heaven's way of saying, I trust you with transformation. The shaking is separating what was seasonal from what is eternal. People who were only meant to walk with you for a chapter will drift away. Those destined for your lifetime will remain. Opportunities will shift. But what stays after the shaking that is holy, that is pure, that is true? The Lord is not shaking you to see if you'll fall. He's shaking you to show that you won't. The foundation of His promise under your feet is stronger than every quake above it. Chosen one, do not resist the trembling. Let it come. Let it pass. Let it clear. When the noise subsides, you'll find yourself standing in clarity, lighter, freer, stronger. You'll see that everything which fell away was never truly yours, and everything that remained was always meant to stay. The shaking before the glory is the sound of chains breaking. It's the rumble before resurrection, the thunder before release. This is how heaven announces new beginnings, not with silence, but with a holy tremor. Soon, the shaking will stop, and when it does, you'll look around and realize you're still standing more rooted than ever. The dust will settle, the storm will fade, and glory will fill the space left behind. This isn't the end, it's the sound of heaven making room. This is the call to stand unmovable. You have weathered storms, walked through fire, and survived the silence. Now heaven says stand, not in hesitation, not in fear, but in unshakable faith. The winds will still blow, but you will not bend the same way you once did. The same ground that used to quake beneath your feet will now bear the imprint of your endurance. The apostle wrote in the first letter to the Corinthians, chapter 15, verse 58. Therefore, my beloved brethren, be steadfast, immovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, knowing your labor is not in vain. These words are more than encouragement. They are a command wrapped in compassion. Be steadfast. In other words, plant your feet, lift your eyes, refuse to let temporary storms shake eternal truths. You have already proven your faith through suffering. Now it must mature through standing. You are like a mountain rooted, ancient, immovable. The clouds may cover your peaks for a time, but the sun always finds you again. And just as mountains shape the wind, your faith now shapes your atmosphere. Everything that once intimidated you is now learning to flow around you, chosen one. This call to stand is not passive, it is prophetic. To stand means to declare, I am done running from my calling. I am done shrinking to please others. I am done letting fear dictate my pace. It means holding your posture even when comfort tempts you to bow. The ground may tremble, but your roots are deep. The storms may roar, but your spirit is anchored. Because the one who holds the universe holds you. You are not standing alone, you are standing in divine partnership. When heaven tells you to stand, it is not asking for perfection, it is calling for presence. God doesn't need your strength, He desires your stability. A candle doesn't have to shout to bring light, it only has to keep burning. And as this message reaches you, imagine a lighthouse on a rocky coast. The waves crash against it night after night, but the tower doesn't move. It doesn't argue with the storm, it just keeps shining. That's what you're becoming, a beacon in the tempest, a steady flame for wandering souls. This is why what we build together matters. Every word you've read, every moment you felt heaven stirring inside you, these aren't coincidences, they're construction. We are building lighthouses across the world, one heart at a time. Each listener becomes a lamp. Each act of sharing extends the shoreline of hope. So when you like, when you share, when you subscribe, it's not routine, it's revival. It's the echo of your agreement saying, let this light reach further. You're helping anchor this message in more souls who are losing grip, who need to hear that standing is still possible. Think of your support as rain watering the seeds of encouragement. When you donate, you're not giving to a voice, you're sowing into a vineyard of voices. Then each offering, no matter the size, becomes a drop of oil that keeps the lamps burning. Somewhere, someone's darkest night is ending because you decided to keep the light alive. Generosity in this space isn't measured by number, it's measured by love. Every small act of kindness, every prayer whispered, every repost, every seed you give, it all becomes part of heaven's architecture. Together, we're not just speaking light, we're building it. Your voice matters here. Your comments aren't just words, they're ripples in the river of awakening. When you write your thoughts, your reflections, your testimonies, you add another stone to this altar we're raising together. Someone who scrolls by tomorrow might find your words and discover hope again. That's how divine community works, one spark lighting another. Chosen one. We are the living temples of God's presence. When we gather even here, across digital space, the current of heaven moves. You are not just consuming light, you are carrying it forward. The lighthouse doesn't shine to be admired. It shines to guide others home. Your story, your endurance, your willingness to stand, it's inspiring others who can't yet see the shore. Don't underestimate your ripple. One small light can pierce miles of sea. So as you stand unmovable, do it with open hands. Let your life say, "Here I am. Lord, use me to keep others standing. Keep your flame steady, your heart generous, your faith alive. And if this message has strengthened you, pass it on. Like, share, subscribe, not out of habit, but out of heart. Let it travel where your voice cannot. And if you feel led to sow into this light, to keep it burning for others, do so freely, joyfully, knowing that every drop of oil you give fuels 1,000 unseen flames. You've come too far to fall now. This is not the season to retreat. It's the season to reinforce. The Lord doesn't just call you to survive, He calls you to stand. And every act of faith, every shared word, every seed sown becomes another beam of light that tells the world the chosen are still standing. So stand firm, beloved. The storm will pass, but your light will remain. There is a quiet momentum building around you. You may not see it yet, but heaven has already accelerated what once felt delayed. The promises that seemed buried beneath years of disappointment are stirring beneath the soil. It is the season of unfolding where the seeds you thought had died begin to push through the earth. You've waited long, prayed deep, and wondered if the waiting would ever end. But the same God who whispered the promise is faithful to finish what He began. You are walking into divine acceleration, not the kind that rushes, but the kind that redeems time. As was written in the book of Amos, chapter 9, verse 13. The days are coming, declares the Lord, when the reaper will be overtaken by the plowman and the planter by the one treading grapes. This is that day, the season where what once took years will now take moments. The slow pace of former seasons was for preparation. The sudden speed of this one is for revelation. God is aligning people, places, and purpose with a precision that only heaven could orchestrate. The gears of eternity are turning faster, and you are part of their motion. Acceleration doesn't mean chaos. It means that divine order has caught up to your obedience. Every delay that frustrated you was not denial, it was calibration. Heaven was adjusting the coordinates so that when the breakthrough came, it would fit perfectly. Think of a bow being pulled back. The farther it's drawn, the greater its release. Every setback you endured, every door that stayed closed, every not yet that felt like a wound, those were all the bowstring being pulled. Now, you are about to be released forward with precision and purpose. Acceleration happens when preparation meets timing. You have been prepared. Your faith tested, your character refined, your discernment sharpened. Heaven doesn't waste development, it multiplies it. Every lesson you learned in the valley will now empower you to walk steadily on the mountain. Chosen one, you are stepping into a rhythm where what once resisted you will now recognize you. The environment itself will begin to respond differently because your frequency has changed. The doors that once ignored your knock will now swing open, not because you became louder, but because you became ready. But understand, this acceleration is not about running, it's about recognizing. You must discern what is divine speed and what is distraction. Not every open door is appointed, and not every opportunity is assignment. When things start to move quickly, you must move wisely. Let peace be your compass. Let purpose be your pace. There will be moments when the pace of change feels overwhelming. It will seem as though life is unfolding faster than you can comprehend. In those moments, remember this is not you losing control. It's God taking his rightful place as the author of your story. You don't need to manage the miracle. You need only to move with it. Acceleration also brings exposure. It reveals who truly walks with you and who was only attached to your waiting season. Some will celebrate your speed, others will question it. Don't slow down to explain. Divine acceleration doesn't seek validation. It bears fruit as proof. You'll find that the same people who overlooked you will soon seek your wisdom. The same doors that rejected you will now request your presence. But when that happens, stay humble. Remember the soil that held your seed, the tears that watered your roots, and the silence that shaped your growth. Acceleration without humility becomes explosion, but acceleration with gratitude becomes elevation. You are entering a divine rhythm where even your mistakes will work in your favor. What you thought was wasted time will suddenly reappear as wisdom. You will begin to connect dots you didn't even realize were forming. What once confused you will now make sense in seconds. Heaven's pace is not frantic, it is focused. The same God who slowed you down when you were impatient is now speeding you up because you are aligned. You can trust this rhythm. It won't break you, it will bless you. The unfolding of prophecy is not something distant, it's happening through you, around you, and for you. Every promise you've been carrying like a seed is now being called forth by heaven's voice. It's time for fulfillment to take shape. Chosen one. This acceleration is not about racing others, it's about redeeming time. Every moment you thought was lost is being returned with interest. The years that the locusts devoured, the dreams that felt buried, heaven is giving them back, multiplied and matured. You are stepping into a divine flow where destiny no longer crawls, it soars. And when you look back, you'll realize that every slow season was mercy, every delay was design, and every quiet moment was a setup for the speed now carrying you forward. The unfolding has begun. Heaven celebrates your obedience. The journey has been long, the cost great, the refining fierce, but you remained. Through the wilderness and the waiting, through tears and silence, you kept walking when others stopped. You didn't know it, but every step of endurance was shaping your coronation. And now, the moment has come, the crowning of the chosen. You may not hear trumpets or see golden light, but heaven's atmosphere shifts when obedience reaches completion. Angels stand in reverent stillness as the Father extends his hand toward you. What you've carried privately, what you've suffered silently, is now being honored openly in the realm of spirit, as was written in the second letter to Timothy, chapter 4, verse 8. Now there is in store for me the crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, will award to me on that day, and not only to me, but also to all who have longed for his appearing. That is your promise. Not a crown made of metal, but one woven from endurance, humility, and unwavering faith. Heaven's crowns are not trophies, they are testimonies. Each gem reflects a battle fought, a fear overcome, a moment you chose faith instead of surrender. You've been walking with invisible weight for years. The weight of waiting, the weight of wondering, the weight of carrying callings too heavy for human hands. But the moment of exchange has arrived. The weight of endurance is giving way to the weight of glory. This coronation doesn't make you superior, it makes you surrendered. It is not a reward for perfection, it is recognition of perseverance. Heaven is saying, You stayed when others fled. You trusted when evidence was absent. You believed when belief hurt. Chosen one, the crown descending upon your spirit carries memory. It remembers the nights you whispered, "Lord, if you're still with me, show me." It remembers the morning you decided to forgive again, the moments you gave without being seen, the prayers you prayed for others while your own heart was breaking. The crown remembers, and so does God. This is not the end of your journey. It's the unveiling of your purpose. The crown is not the finish line. It's the signal of divine commissioning. The weight of glory you now carry is meant to radiate, to draw others toward the same light that once guided you through darkness. Heaven crowns not with jewels, but with assignments. You are now being trusted with more, not more fame, but more influence. Not more applause, but more authority. The Lord is handing you spiritual keys that open hearts rather than doors. And though this moment is majestic, it is also gentle. God doesn't rush your coronation. He lets it settle like dawn. You won't suddenly feel different. You'll gradually realize that peace now governs what panic once ruled. Wisdom will begin to flow effortlessly from your words. Your steps will feel lighter because you no longer walk in striving, you walk in certainty. This crown also brings responsibility. To wear it well, you must remain low. True royalty in the kingdom of God serves, not reigns. You are crowned not to dominate, but to demonstrate love. The power placed upon you is not for control, it's for compassion. The world will see your light increasing, but heaven will measure your humility. Stay tender, even as you become stronger. Stay teachable, even as revelation deepens. The higher you are lifted, the deeper your roots must grow in grace. There will be moments when you'll feel the pressure of the crown, the invisible weight of calling that few can understand. When that happens, return to the posture that earned it worship. Worship is where the crown rests without crushing. Worship keeps you reminded that you are not the source of glory, you are its steward. This new season will not look like striving, it will look like flow. What used to be hard will become natural. The voice of heaven that once felt distant will now feel near, constant, conversational. The Lord will begin to reveal strategies for others through your obedience. People will find peace just by being in your presence, because your presence will carry His. Chosen one, this is what you were born for. The long nights, the unanswered questions, the seasons of silence, all of it led here. You are not at the end, you are at the beginning of divine expression. You are not a survivor anymore, you are a sovereign servant of grace. Heaven celebrates you. The Father smiles, not because you perform perfectly, but because you persevered faithfully. Angels whisper your name as one who endured. The crown has descended. It gleams not with gold, but with glory, the reflection of God's light upon a soul that refused to quit. And as you stand there, radiant in invisible majesty, heaven speaks one more time, "Well done, my faithful one. Now walk in the authority of your anointing. You bow your head not in pride, but in peace. For the journey is far from over, yet the victory is already written." The crown rests, the heart steadies, and eternity applauds. You are crowned, chosen one, and now the world will see what heaven always knew. The wind has stilled now. The words have been spoken. Heaven's message has reached you, and your spirit has heard what it was always meant to hear. You've walked through revelation, through fire, through silence, through awakening, and you've come out crowned with clarity. But remember, this journey does not end here. Every word you've received is a seed, and seeds were never meant to stay buried, they were meant to grow. What you do next determines how far this light travels. Somewhere out there, another soul is where you once were tired, searching, ready to give up. The same message that lifted you could be the one that lifts them. That's why your simple actions matter. When you like, you affirm the light. When you share, you extend it beyond your own circle, letting heaven's voice echo into new hearts. When you subscribe, you join a growing family of chosen ones, people carrying light across nations, linked not by distance but by divine purpose. And when you comment, your words become testimony. Someone scrolling tomorrow may read your reflection and feel their own faith reignite. Tell them what you've felt. Tell them what you've learned. Or simply write something that reminds them they're not alone. You're not just an observer of this journey, you're a part of it. Every action you take keeps this fire burning, keeps this light alive, keeps this message moving into the corners of the world where hope is running thin. So, as you close this final moment, let gratitude rise within you. Whisper softly, "I am chosen, and I choose the light." Then, act, like, share, comment, subscribe, and let your obedience become the next spark that awakens another heart. The message has been delivered. The movement continues through you.